Everybody, I'm Carla Qualtrough, Member of Parliament for Delta and Minister of Public Services and Procurement for Canada. So about 2 months ago, I was appointed by the Prime Minister from my previous job in Sport and Disability to work as the Minister of Public Services and Procurement. The responsibility in that job is quite vast. Very kind of broadly, it's effectively helping to run government. So in the public services side, we're responsible for payroll, administration, IT support, any kind of in-service support for the 300,000 public servants that the Government of Canada employs, and of course services to Canadians. So any kind of service we provide to Canadians usually comes through my office now. I'm also the Receiver General of Canada, which means I'm responsible for the public accounts of the Government of Canada. So any money we spend or take in effectively goes through my ministry or my department. Every year the Government of Canada has about $3 trillion worth of cash flow that goes to and from the government through Canadians. And that's a lot of financial transactions that we have to manage in the Government of Canada. In addition, as I said, we pay 300,000 employees. And we have about $6.2 billion worth of procurement. So on the other side of my hat, I'm responsible for Procurement for Canada. What that means is anything the Government of Canada buys, from pencils to ships for our Navy, again, goes through my department. And that's a big responsibility. And in my new mandate letter, the Prime Minister has asked me to create a modernization plan for our procurement. The Government of Canada's processes around buying stuff are actually quite clunky and they take a long time. So I've been asked by the Prime Minister to streamline those processes and make it easier for small businesses to get in the business of working and doing business with the Government of Canada. I've also been asked to deal with some issues and challenges that have faced the Government of Canada over the past couple of years, including the Phoenix pay system. So right now there's a situation where we have a pay system that doesn't regularly pay everybody, and it's very worrisome, and quite frankly it's unacceptable. So we are putting in place different processes and fixing the technology to make sure that every person who works for the Government of Canada gets the money they're owed and gets paid on time, and they can be assured that they're getting what they deserve to get. The other thing we're working on, of course, is Canada Post. There's a number of crown corporations and agencies that are under my purview now, one of which is Canada Post. So we made a promise during the election to halt the conversion to community mailboxes for communities, and so we're going to keep true to that promise. And we're modernizing Canada Post. So this has involved a massive consultation, both through a House of Commons committee and through a task force appointed by the previous minister. And I'm very soon going to be announcing to Canadians our vision moving forward for Canada Post. We know how important Canada Post is to Canadians as a public service. We know how attached Canadians are to Canada Post and how much they enjoy interaction with this really valued public service. And we are going to make sure it's around for a long time to come. Other than that, defense procurement. So buying jets, buying ships, making sure our military have the support, the services, and the equipment they need to do the really important jobs we're asking them to do. And so as we work on our national shipbuilding strategy and as we work on replacing our fighter jet fleet, that's all comes under my department. So as you can see, it's a very broad and very vast department. There's other agencies like Canada Lands, which deals with all the real property owned by the Government of Canada. So the Government of Canada owns hundreds and thousands of buildings, and we own property, and we own monuments, and we own the parliamentary precinct. So there's a lot of work to be done in this department. It's very exciting. I'm super pleased that the Prime Minister has given me such a huge vote of confidence that I can manage this incredibly diverse portfolio and deliver on a number of really challenging issues facing Canadians, both as we modernize our government and provide better services to Canadians, but also as we clean up some of the mess that was left behind by the other government, the last government. So anyway, I think that's the best description I can give of my job. I'm thrilled to have this opportunity. I have the luxury now of sitting next to the Prime Minister in the House of Commons, which I consider an incredible honor. And I'm doing the very best I can to serve Canadians and deliver on what he's asked me to do.